Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato. This is the one and only Transport Fever. Indeed it is, and things are going swimmingly. At the end of the last episode, we were sort of following this train around on its maiden voyage. It's the first time that we've actually taken this this train out, and it's looking good. It's looking impressive. I quite like it. It says it's 6 years old. It's technically not true. What is true is the fact that it has got some old carriages on it, but the train itself, the locomotive, is brand new. Anyway, in this episode, I kind of want to dedicate a little bit of love to this route. 90 kilometers per hour, you know, it's a lovely, lovely, lovely classic route, but at the same time, it's getting on. It really, really is. And I think it should be auto-replacing very, very soon indeed. Come on, auto-replace, auto-replace. That would be a perfect start to the episode. A perfect start to the episode. Just do it. Yep, auto-replace. There we go, fantastic. It cost us 9 million, but it's gonna allow us to take way more passengers than before. Might not be necessary to take this many passengers, but it's at least a nice thought, right? Also, what is my most profitable route right now? My most profitable route is the Great Bridge of Dorchester? Really? That is so surprising to me. I did honestly think that it would be third time's a charm. I honestly thought that it would be this route. I guess it is this route actually. It's just going through an unprofitable time right now. What about let's follow this train on the way back. What about the other routes that we've got that are quite profitable? Borbrak, it's not an unprofitable route, although I don't imagine that it's as profitable as the third time's the charm. This is my prediction, that third time's the charm is our most profitable route. It looks like Borbrak is pretty much at its cap. Like, I don't think it'll be able to go above that 4 million mark. Might see about introducing a new train on that route, if that's what that sort of cap indicates. Which it might not, but who knows. Yes, what else was I going to do? I was going to check on other profitable routes. Great Bridge of Dorchester. Yes, this is an interesting one. I have no idea how this is so unbelievably popular and making so much money. Also, what the fuck is up with this? What the fuck? Why did that slow down to like 5 miles per hour? I mean, I get that it was signals, but that's still not that's not that sharp a turn, is it? Does it have to slow down for signals? Or for points even? Interesting. Yeah, let me check how many people are actually waiting at the station for Borbrak. And where's the train? The train's on the way back. I don't think that we're gonna need another train for Borbrak, although, saying that, there is a substantial number of passengers waiting. That could be an interesting one, actually. Might be well worth our time. 13 passengers waiting. There's a lot of people at the depots as well. The depots? That's not the correct term. The bus stops. That's the term that I was looking for. Yeah. Weird one, that. I don't quite understand why that's the case, but alas. But we should be pretty much making money on every single train route. Our one trade route, actually, should I say, our electric dude. And seemingly, there is a big slowdown over here. I don't know why that's the case, but that's a little bit interesting. High-speed tracks, can we modify this so that we can upgrade it? Maybe that'll make some slight difference. But it looks like this point area is pretty dodgy. Unfortunately, I think that we are going to have to go through a little bit of a redesign of this track when we eventually do want to upgrade it to high speed. The problem is that this was not designed with high speed in mind. I think this, unfortunately, we redid this track just before high speed was unlocked. And then we instantly made this track high speed, which fucking hell, this is horrifically optimized. This game is actually atrociously optimized. It makes me cry. Oh god, I can't even. I see you're seeing the same frame rate that I'm seeing. Like sometimes when a YouTuber, I say YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber. That sounds so obnoxious, doesn't it? Sometimes when a YouTuber is recording a video, the recording software will have a adverse effect on the way that the game is played and the way that the viewer sees the game. So you might see massive frame rate drops because my computer cannot handle the recording and the actual gameplay at the same time. Not the case with this game, though. This game just stutters for both of us. so we both feel the pain. If that's any consolation, you're seeing what I'm seeing. You're seeing the horrific stuff happen just as I am. All right. Why is this train not going faster? It should be. It should be going. It should be going its full 90 kilometers per hour. Yeah, let's keep an eye on and see what goes on here. Obviously, there is going to be one of these guys is going to have to. What? So, okay, that is not okay. What just happened? That is really not okay. What just happened? Yeah, that's a big no from me. Why the hell did... It says you're gonna go on this route, but you didn't. What the fuck? This is so strange. So the good old regular, it said that it would go up on the right hand side and come back on the... Was it due to my upgrade? Like the track upgrade that I was doing at the time? Did I have an adverse effect on something? I'll be honest, I don't know what it could have an adverse effect on, but that has delayed yet another shipment of logs, which is terrible. Very, very bad news all around. Not like we're particularly, you know, doing great in terms of logs, but we're not doing badly, and there's always an improvement to be made. Great Bridge of Dorchester. We really could do with the second train on the Great Bridge of Dorchester route, actually. Although I say that, it's not that essential. We're actually remarkably under control. Everything seems to be going well. There is a route that I am interested in because I did indeed make a brand new air route in the last episode. It was called... I think it was FIAL. Now this is the route that actually goes around all of the airports. Like, it just goes from airport to airport. Every airport, in fact, that's not Elstree and Borehamwood. And it seems that our air routes are majorly unprofitable or minorly profitable. How many passengers do you have? This one. 0 passengers. How can we boost passenger numbers for airports? It seems that only FAL and SAL are even remotely profitable. And bear in mind that we've only got 1 plane on all of these routes, so that's worth keeping in mind. Is there any possibility of us perhaps upgrading the trams? I don't know if we have any trams that we can actually get. The last tram that we unlocked was in 1928. That's pretty abysmal. I'm gonna get 4 new trams and stick them on the new route new me line. Now, I don't imagine that this route is even profitable to begin with. Like, I'm not an optimist. Yeah, we're actually losing money for this route. That does not surprise me in the slightest. For a couple of reasons, actually, is that the area is so large that we are covering a gargantuan area, and I don't know if that's the right option. You know, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Also, I feel that trams exist in this space where they're not that great. I mean, they're all right. I think the top speed might be a little bit more than 40 kilometers per hour, whereas a bus is... the latest bus is 50 kilometers per hour. And that bus costs 21k per year to run, whereas this tram costs 32k per year to run. So it's quite expensive. And also, I imagine that some of the trams on this route are actually getting on a bit. Is this a new tram or an old tram? It's 1 month old. Alright, well that's not a great litmus test. 18 years old. So your running costs are now 39k a year, which may not seem like a lot, but it all adds up, you know? It all adds up. Let me have a look at the finances for this. So there was never really a point where it was profitable, I guess. It was never really quite there, which kind of sucks, you know? That does kind of suck. I'm disappointed, but it forms an essential part of our transport network, that's for sure. So it's essential that we get it right, you know? I'm just wondering if there's a better way of going about doing things, because I feel that there is, right? Like, we should be making more money than this. We really should be. Let me pause and do a little bit of route restructuring. So North Road. I'm going to remove all of the stations that are... It's Mill Lane over there. No, we need Mill Lane. South Street, gonna remove you. Albert Road, gonna remove you. North Road, remove you. High Street, remove you. Church Lane, remove you. King Street, remove you. Queen Street, remove you. The Grove, West Street, Main Road. So that should confine... That's gonna confine the new route, new me sort of area to this place right here, okay? And this is on purpose, right? We're gonna try something a little bit different here. The new route, new me is going to be much, much smaller, and then instead, we're going to have a line that runs over here, and except this line will run with much, much, much reduced numbers of tram cars there, and then we're also going to make it go to Park Avenue, right? So we're still gonna let this side access the train station, except this side, where all of the activity is gonna be where it's at. So that's an idea. I think what we also want to get set up, right? This is gonna, we'll quickly name this line. We'll call this newer routes, newer me. Creative titling, I know. We're also going to set up a third route, which is kind of going to be the Airport Express route, if you'd like. And this is just going to be Mill Lane, right? All the way to the airport and back. And it's all going to be done with trams. All trams. Because we've already got the tram infrastructure. It would be silly of us not to take advantage of that fact, right? Like, trams offer fantastic capacity. They're not super expensive to run. And as soon as a new one comes along, we'll just upgrade it. I don't know how long trams come along for, but I hope that it's for a while. Can you guess the title of this one? Newest route, newest me. And that's a superlative. There we go. Okay, so what we kind of want to do is I think that we probably want to drop the number of carts on this route down to... That's 9. Let's drop it down to 8. I'm going to get... In fact, let's drop it down to 7. Yeah, there we go. So 7 on that route, 2 on the newer route near me, and 2 on the newest route newest me. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see what the heck happens here, because I'm curious. I'm very, very curious indeed. This could be a brand new age of tram travel within the city, but we'll have to wait and see. The reason that I did it is that this side of things, whilst it is essential that it remains connected, it's just not giving up as many passengers as I thought it would. Perhaps it's not residential or something. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly, you know, it's mostly commercial, which is a huge problem, because most of the residential areas are over here. And if we are expending valuable tram time in taking a trip across to the other side of the city, and there's quite a large number of stops over here, it's just wasting our resources, and we end up with, 36 people waiting at that single stop, which is a little bit ridiculous and a little bit uncalled for. At the same time, the time that it takes the whole tram to get around the network and get to the airport is too long, which is why we're getting an Airport Express route set up, which is pretty logical, I think. it should allow more passenger connections to the airport, and theoretically should allow us to boost our airport capacity. We can already see a couple of passengers there. It's not many, but it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent, you know? At the same time, we want to make sure that this area is getting the service that it requires, so we've still got a couple of trams that are going to be servicing this area, albeit they are probably still going to make a loss. I'm doubtful that they're ever going to make a profit, but it's essential that at least the couple of passengers who are on this side are going to be catered to. And also, with us only running 2 trams on this side of things, it should theoretically mean that we'll make less of a loss for this, rather than wrapping it up in the big new route, new me loss. It's going to be a little bit unprofitable to start off with, but at the same time, it cannot be less profitable, or cannot be more unprofitable than the original new route, new me, which was much larger. So I think that honestly, this is a great step forward. I'm very hopeful that it'll end up working. We'll have to see what happens, though. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be interesting. Oh, wow, what a 360. Wicked 360, bro. 2 passengers out of 8 on a DC-3. Not thrilling. Not thrilling numbers. Not thrilling numbers, but hey-ho. 3rd time's a charm, looking good. Borbrak, looking good. Good old regular, looking great. I never checked to see if the good old regular was actually running smoothly, but I imagine it must be by now, right? It must be. It just must be. Okay. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way that everything's going, actually. Ooh, this is a problem. In fact, no, it's not a problem, because we're loading up. You know what? We could actually introduce a 2nd train to Borbrak. Probably kind of necessary by now. Also, it looks like we're going to need to make some slight modifications to the bus route, because there's not any bus services that go up to this new residential area. I mean, that's the difficulties with an ever-expanding town, right? Yes. This is the purple route. This is the Brack bus route. Brack bus is actually profitable. All right. Well, that's great. That's fantastic. I feel fantastic about that. Let's put a new stop there. Add a new station on. Perfect. Or add a new bus stop on even. Perfect. I also really am very keen. Very keen indeed to get a new 2nd train up on the Brockbrack route. Why? I don't quite know, but I really want to. I really want to do it. I think that, honestly, the entire infrastructure should be here. Let me have a little look. Brockbrack. That's the bus route. We need the rail route. The Brockbrack rail route. Yeah, so currently it's coming up and down the same side of the line. Now we can make some modifications to this, but we're going to have to decide. We're going to have to make a decision. Which side of the line do we want it to go up on? I think we'll make it go up on the left. That's the complete reverse direction from what we wanted. Honestly. That was horrific. Okay. Yep. As you'll probably be able to tell, it lags anytime I hold the signals over where they should be. Okay. And also, we need to bear in mind that currently the game literally cannot use both sides of the track, because up here at the station there is no crossover infrastructure. So we're going to need to keep that in mind. But as soon as I alter that up here, it should be 100% smooth sailing. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. We actually have so much money that it's kind of filthy. I just wish industry was more viable, because it's just not. Industry is pathetic. It really needs to get reworked in a major way. Okay, so up on the left. There, okay, perfect. Let's get some high-speed track out. Not like it particularly matters if it's high-speed or not. Could you not do that, please, video game? That's in the station, so it's probably best that we don't do that. Construction not possible. Yeah, okay, sorry. I didn't realize that the station started that early. My bad. My bad game. How long is the station? Is that 160 meters? I don't think it's that big particularly. There we go. Oh. We hit the sweet spot. Perfect. All right. Up on the left, back up on the right. That absolutely works for me. And this should allow us to get a second train up and running. Excuse me? Okay. All right, sticky keys, or no, well, not my keys aren't sticky, but the Windows application sticky. You get the picture. Waiting for free path. The path will be free. Trust me. Let's just get a brand new train from here. Buy trains. This should already be on the Brockbrack route. Yeah. Classic. I love the look of the Class A4. It really is a gorgeous train. And get that on the Brockbrack route. There we go. Perfect. Let's see if it works. Elstree and Borehamwood. Brockbrack, only 48 passengers. Not the end of the world. Wait, what? Where's the train? Waiting for free path, really? Will that work? This is going to require a little bit of finicking about. I turned you around and now you've got no path. Good stuff. That'll make you work. That's great. Let's get you out here. So it is technically ignoring signals for a little bit, but whatever. There we go. We did it. You're now gonna, fingers crossed, work for the rest of the time. Unfortunately, the time that it took us to do that, I imagine that the Brockbrack train is going to be somewhat catching up, which is problematic. Also, this train is completely on the wrong side of the track because... Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. So you're just going to wait for a free path here, right? This is going to be interesting because the other Brockbrack train is, or was, should I say, the route was set up, the signals were placed when it was on the wrong side of the track. Yeah, so it's going to come down here. Alright, now everything should be fine, and we can delete this little bit of track. Good thing I left it in place. That was completely unintentional, but alas, it worked out alright. And now, everything should be fine. Unfortunately, only 6 passengers are going to get carried on this little route, but I think it'll work out, honestly. I think it'll work out. In the long run, anyway, the future for this route is very, very positive. That's the Great Bridge of Dorchester. I was wondering, why is it going over a bridge? I was sure that there were no bridges on the Brockbrack route. Is Brockbrack? Borbrack. Borbrack? Borbrack. It's the worst word. I was sure there was no bridges on this route, and indeed, there's not any bridges. I was just being an idiot. Yeah, so pretty much the entire reason that I feel justified getting the second train is because there is so much demand from Brackley, which completely justifies, in my mind, getting the second train. Even if there's not the demand in Elstree and Borehamwood, it's still absolutely a good investment because we should easily be able to make our money back based on the spawn rate of the passengers at Brackley. Oh, what's that? Is that a new vehicle? That is the red... no, the Re 44. Not the red 44. glad that that was cleared up. Let's have a little look and see how things are going in Elstree and Borehamwood. How are our tram lines doing? Newer route, newer me, still not very profitable. Newest route, newest me is actually not unprofitable. It's got 11 out of 16 passengers, so it's clear that I kind of anticipated demand with this. Newer route, newer me, still very, very unprofitable. Honestly, to be completely expected. Let's transfer one of these trams to new route, new me. See if that makes any difference. Again, the maximum amount that we can lose on this route now is 40k a year, right? And that's literally running costs. The maximum that we could lose with 2 trams was 80k a year. So fingers crossed with another extra tram on new route, new me, that should help things along just swimmingly. But I'm super happy actually that that things seem to be speeding up. We seem to have fewer passengers waiting. Definitely fewer passengers waiting at the train station, which is actually kind of perfect. I say fewer passengers waiting at the train station. I mean waiting at the tram stop outside the train station. I mean obviously there's fucking tons of passengers waiting actually in the train station itself. But honestly, I'm super happy with how things are going. And I'm super glad that we actually upgraded this this train station when we did. I love this. I love Elstree and Borehamwood. I love the feeling of busyness. It really is fantastic. It really, really is fantastic. And it seems that, you know, demand at the airports as well is actually quite high. I don't know if that was an introduction of the newest route, newest me route. I don't know if that was it was due to the introduction of that route, or if it was, you know, just due to the restructuring of the new route, new me. It could have been a factor of both, actually. But either way, it's really, really great that that it's working out, and it looks like, yeah, looks like there's fewer passengers waiting pretty much everywhere, which is lovely. And I don't know if we're going to be profitable on any of these routes. Well, it seems that we're going to be profitable on at least one, which is grand. New route, new me still has a little bit of a way to go, although I imagine that these trams are getting quite old, and if we were to replace them, we could potentially see a profit, but looks like profits are climbing up from 1944. We only instituted this plan like last year, so there's still a chance for record-breaking profits, but I'm somewhat doubtful. Although in the future, I'm very, very hopeful that we're at least going to make less of a loss. I mean, it's obviously still worth taking the loss because it's a super, super essential service and collects literally everyone who wants to travel to anywhere in the world. It's done from here, and it's done with these trams. So even though it doesn't look like they have an important job, their job is probably the most important on the entire map. I think it really is. See, this is the thing. I have no idea why we're not making a profit on this route. Like, we really should be. It really should be very, very profitable, considering it's so unbelievably busy. I guess it just, you know, we just need to try and hit that sweet spot a little bit more. Perhaps we should probably get rid of these trams, in all honesty. They are probably a little bit overdue for retirement, and this was released in 1928. 16 passengers. Like, I don't even think that I think that probably shapes up to a bus. I mean, that's 13 passengers, 21k. I think it's more expensive to run trams per year. Yeah, that's 32k. So we could actually probably get buses that are maybe a little bit of better bang for our buck. Train 2 has reached its lifetime. The carriages, perhaps? This Great Bridge of Dorchester train is not at its lifetime yet. It doesn't look like it to me anyway. It says age of 9 years. I imagine that some of the carriages are 9 years old, but most are not. Anyway, ladies and gents, we're gonna finish up here. Things are looking very, very profitable indeed, and we've only really fucked around with one city. And honestly, I don't actually have any issue with that approach. We are growing one city at a rate of knots that is kind of unreal. We have 400 passengers waiting at the train station at any one time, which is kind of bonkers. That's kind of bonkers. 400 passengers waiting at the station. I mean, now we're down to 200, but whatever. I'm really, really impressed with the way that things are going. And it seems that also the improvement of the tram route is really going to help out a bunch of stuff. Very, very hopeful that that everything continues to go swimmingly. And maybe even we see a little bit of what we could do. Oh, well, it looks like we're profitable. Well, not super profitable, but we're close. I was waiting to say maybe we could introduce a couple new trams to the newest route, newest me line, but I'm not so sure about that quite yet. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Potato. This has been Transport Fever, and I'll see you next time. Bye.